Here we go.
Welcome back to Less Cash, More Mash. My name's Tom.
And my name's Mike.
And today, we are going to do our first Scotch. We have yet to do any of the Scotch. And the last Irish we had, to me, reminded me of Scotch. So I said, I got this bottle many moons ago from my father as a gift. We actually had to look it up. It averages for a 1.75 liter approximately $39.99. So Justerini and Brooks is made in St. James, London. It's 80 proof. It's actually a blend of 42 different whiskeys, which is crazy to me because that is a lot of whiskeys to be done. So this place was founded in 1749, and it originally provided all the wine and the spirits for all the aristocrats of the aristocratic households of London. And they've been a supplier of every British monarch since King George III back in 1761. That's
up there.
That's some time, and you've been doing this for a while. So I'm kind of interested to try it. I've never had this. When I did drink Scotch, I would put it on the rocks and I would bury it, and then literally mine were plastic bottles under $20. So I'm kind of interested because sometimes, but this is a blend.
You keep saying this is going to be compatible to the last one we did.
I have no idea.
I'm not sure.
I'm just thinking that all I'm saying was the smoke flavor that sat on my tongue is what I'm thinking. I've never had this one. I thought it was comparable to the cheap Scotch that I used to buy. You know what I mean? On the little tongue lingering that I would get. But I don't know. We're gonna have to see. That was a weird looking top. Doesn't it look like it sticks out? It should, but it looks like it sticks out a little. So again, it's clear. Like that's how the other one was. The Scotches that I used to drink. But literally, I think you could, remove paint with the ones I used to drink. But this one,
I'm not sure.
I mean, we'll see. I really didn't mind.
It's not that big harsh slap in your face alcohol.
No, it didn't say any of the distillation process on the bottle or anywhere when I didn't really look up I didn't want to go too technical with it, but I found it interesting that they've been around that long and just kind of served like every king going.
Almost all of them though, isn't how long?
Crazy how long?
Been
cooking. Well, and then that was the one good thing when I used to watch moonshiners and stuff, and you realize race car driving came from the bootleggers and the moonshiners and all of that stuff.
Of the top race car drivers actually were that.
It's just like that's just it. Like that's what NASCAR came from, was like just running from the law. It's just interesting.
From the law, and hopefully you don't break down, so you'll make a few bucks.
Ooh, now see this one.
It's got a difference.
Has a lot more of the smoke flavor right off the bat. You can smell it more. The other one you really couldn't smell it, was like flour-esque and easy, but I had that little tail on my tongue that I could taste. This one reminds me. Let me clear my nose here. This one reminds me of when I used to drink Scotch all the time. And I went to the cheap Scotches because you could actually buy a handle like this, a 1.75 liter for, it was always under $20. Usually like 16. I think this was 30.
It's not really outrageous.
No, but I could buy two for the price of one, so I always went with the other one. But I've seen these, but I've never bought it. I didn't look up in a liquor store. I went like this.
Like the old timers would have this.
Yeah. I always saw the JB and thought it was Jim Beam. Not gonna lie.
I'm with you.
Even when he brought me this, I'm like, I didn't even know Jim Beam made a Scotch. And then I read it afterwards, and I was like, Justerini and Brooks.
He probably didn't believe it.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, it's not even Jim Beam. But when I seen the JB, I just assumed.
And she would have even said, this is a good one. Because he's not really a Scotch drinker.
Oh, yeah. No, well, yeah, he just, it was just probably a quick Christmas. Right. It was a Christmas gift, like here. This will keep him quiet. No, I don't think he doesn't do Scotch. I don't think he even drank it. All right, I'm going to give this a try. So that's I always say like the stinky feet.
Smoky, yeah.
The more smoke you get, the more it hits your tongue and it says stinky feet.
It has a little more. This one has a little more of a tingle. for only 80 proof compared to the last one we just did.
No, that last one was super smooth.
That was
like
really
like, and
easy
I know
drinking.
everyone hates the word smooth, but
No,
that was so drinkable. There was no fight back at all. Like it just went right
this
down.
stays on your tongue.
That's
that
the
other one.
smoke.
Zing.
It was just a hint that I was getting just a tail end of it. This is why I was drinking the scotches, because when you were staying in, until I found 10 High that actually had a flavor, a lot of the cheap bourbons tasted like turpentine. You know what I mean? Like you didn't get that, like you tasted the alcohol. It wasn't, you didn't get the flavor of a bourbon. You were
But
getting,
that wasn't your mission either.
no, I was just a drink to get it in me. Exactly. So, but then when I found the scotches, and especially the cheaper scotches, had a light smoky flavor. Not that I've ever been a smoker, but it just gave me that little bit of flavor that I was looking for. And the smell, like it has that distinct.
I wish I could figure out what they are.
This one to me. Dude, you were around when remember when we used to do Allen's hay? When we used to, it almost smells like a bale of wet hay a little bit to me. Remember the couple
wasn't
times?
just Allen's hay.
No, but you remember a couple times that we had to go over and help him on the farm, and we. That's what it reminds me of.
Unfortunately, I did more than just his farm because I started off before you.
Right. Oh, I understand that, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what it reminds me of. Just like
Just sell me off.
like that little bit of almost like a damp.
It might be though, even a little vanilla in this. No.
A hint? No, I do. I think I got a hint of there is a smoothness of some sort, but you definitely get that smoky. It sits on your tongue. It's oily. This is actually really good. Like
It stays there.
It stays on your tongue. It lasts not long. It just about.
No.
Well, here I am, like 20.
Like it burned only maybe to here, not even.
Doesn't give you the tingle, but it coats your tongue nicely. Like it actually sits on the back of your tongue nicely.
Maybe, but
Yeah, but not like that when we were doing like the 101 or anything where you get that little
and it stays there.
and it stays there,
crispin, yeah.
and it's all on the back of my tongue too. It doesn't seem to sit on the front of my tongue much.
I
It
just
just
switched
seems.
it,
Well, I
so.
did too, but it seems to gather on the back of my tongue. With that nice little light smoky flavor, I actually really like this one. I don't.
It's gonna probably be hard pressed that we're not gonna like something. It's gonna.
There's got to be something
it's
that I'm
gotta
going to
be
be like
really
no.
bad.
Well, you know what? There was which one did I? And I'm like, I didn't really care for it. There was one
Nothing-
back
nothing we
there.
were gonna
There's
dump
nothing.
down the
There was
drain.
nothing I was dumping it. But listen, yeah, exactly. There's not much I'm going to dump down the drain, anyways. But
We may find one. We're kind of on a mission to see what's at the low end first.
so you get that
There's a different smell, but I can't pick out what it is.
in the taste. I always relate it to that. It almost gives you of the Band-Aid, like when a Band-Aid gets wet taste. Do you like the flavor, like the smell? Do you not get that? Like the medicinal Band-Aid? You don't get...
I didn't really chew on it. No.
You don't have to chew on it, but you know, like say you have a Band-Aid on your hand and you got an itch on your face and you're like, oh, that smells like a wet Band-Aid
Went through
smell.
a shower.
Yeah, well, you took
got
a shower.
some old memories of weird stuff.
I didn't have a lot going on as a kid. You know what I mean? I had to make my own games,
Really?
and I was
No
eating
Band-Aid
grass.
have a smell.
Well, you never was like, wonder if that stinks. Oh, good God, that stinks. You know what I mean? Like
Well, that's.
it almost gives
when
me
your
that.
cast comes off.
Well, you
that's,
know, that
that's,
was nasty.
That's a bad smell.
That was nasty. It almost gives me like almost like a medicinal, like like if you're in a hospital, it almost gives me that medicinal smell. No, you don't get like not the antiseptic per se,
no,
but the.
I don't get that at all.
It
You're going
reminds
way
me-
more negative. Who would want to drink this? You're saying it smells like a Band-Aid, smells like a cast, and now a hospital?
That's what Scotch reminded me.
Everybody's going to
That-
be like, book it.
Honestly, though, that's what Scotch always reminded me of. It always gave me that.
I'm not getting that.
Well, how do you talk about the smoke then? It doesn't taste like there was a couple times I was
guess-
hammered and we were smoking cigars in the back with Chip and I didn't realize it, and you're like, next day you wake up and you're like, oh, who took a dump in my mouth? You know what I mean? So it was like, and that's it. Like it doesn't really give me. I just smoked the cigar flavor with the smoke, but it gives me more of a.
It goes away fairly quick. You get a little tingle, minor burn, and it's not a bad flavor.
I actually like it. It does.
And I bet it would
coats
make
nice.
a really good mixer as well.
It coats nice. I never tried any of the Scotch with like a Coke. I always wondered if the smoke would fight. Like, would it counter it or would it add to it?
I would go to ginger first, but.
Or either. Like, that's what I mean. Like I never drank them. When I started drinking the Scotches, I always drank them, on the rocks.
Yeah, you got all fancy way before me.
Yeah, I always got them on a rock. So I wouldn't do. I like this one. Like I said, I told you my friend, and I don't think Jimmy's watching yet, but he will eventually when I talk to him next time. He'll subscribe. But I know when he brought me over one time, and it was like, so you take this, what I call dirty Band-Aid smell, and magnify it by like 1,000. I could not even get it in me. And I'm wondering if, like, I watch everyone drink, like the Ardbegs and all the other ones that they say are really harsh.
Really want to taste Band-Aid.
No, but they say they're really harsh. And I'm wondering if that's what I was tasting, and I didn't even know it back then, because he's like, you drink Scotch, try this. I love it. And I was like, oh my God, how do you even get that in you?
Oh,
this
and
to
that was
me,
a good one?
That was supposed to be like he was supposed to be.
Even the higher ones that I tried were.
He's like, how do you not like that? I'm like, how do you like it? He goes, oh, yeah, you sit by the fire, smoking a cigar, drinking this. I'm like, no. Well, I want to eat the ashes out of the fire first. It was like, that just was disgusting. But, I mean, again, my palate has changed over the years, though, and I might actually like that. But this one, I will say, as much as I like the flavor and the taste of the Dunville, which is an Irish, it's not even a Scotch, but it gave me that little bit of smoke. I almost want you, like, you're gonna have to go back later and try that. Just you're gonna see that, but this one coats your tongue a lot better.
Yeah,
this one sits.
That one's a lot easier drinker.
Yeah, no, this like sits in it. It coats your tongue
not that
better.
this is a hard drinker. That one's
I don't find this like a punch in the face at all. Like I think
you don't really smell the alcohol. Smooth. You don't.
That's what I like about the smoke to me. Like that the Scotches. Never really, even the cheap ones. I
just can't figure out what the smells are. But
it'll come.
It's not.
It'll come. You have to make them up. That's it. It's what does it come to you? Honestly, I was in the Kentucky field a while back.
I'm not in the Band-Aid group.
No,
yet.
that's what it brings me to.
Yeah, I don't get that.
It does. A little on.
You were not a good salesman in that 5 seconds.
Go sniff a Band-Aid. You tell me if it doesn't smell the same.
I'll pass.
It was better than the dirty feet I went out with her, wasn't it? If you're licking dirty feet,
you got four.
Here's your tasting. It's not nuts and berries. It's dirty Band-Aids and smelly feet. So get it in you.
Everyone's gonna run to go get this one. I would try it. Mm-hmm. It's worth trying. It's not all of what he's just saying.
No,
it's a pretty good drinker.
My descriptions might be disgusting, but so ain't I. So there you go. But what I'm saying is with that, honestly, comparing it to and I haven't had Scotch in a lot of years because I switched over to bourbon, but comparing it to like the cheaper Scotches that I used to drink, so much better because it does have a fountain more of flavor compared to. I'm gonna have to go back. I know Clooney was one of them that I think was like right around 20ish all the time. But I know there was one.
They do have less than that.
Inverhouse was one of the ones I used to get all the time, and I could get it at the time for like $14.99, and I used to buy it all the time. A green bottle like this, plastic handle, and it was cheap, but it had a nice little happy smoky taste. And again, I could get 2 of them for the price of this, so I always went for Inverhouse. Or there was another one. And once I seen the bottle, I know what it was. That was right around the $17 mark that I used to get all the time. And to me, I'm like, why am I going to double it when I can get 2 of them? And to me...
So those of you that are 21 that don't have a lot of money, we will get you into that category.
Well,
those that have a little more and want to go with a little step up.
You know what? And we're going to actually do it. So leave a comment down below if you want to see it because we're going to do it anyways. But we... No, honestly, because you know why? Because now I'm actually thinking about it. We did it with the 10 high, and I kind of always judge things back to, 10 high though was $14.99 or $15.99 when I used to buy it all the time. So that's why I used to get the Inverhouse because it got me here, where this might be here, but it got me good enough for half the price, and I was like, I'm not going to spend the extra money. This would be like a delicacy at the point.
Well, the people's tricks is make this your first drink.
and then you go
and
down to the lower.
then go to the other one because after your first one.
And that's what I was doing now. But again, like I said in one of the few episodes, I think it was before you were here, my theory was always, buy a handle, drink a handle. So I used to get it, and I wouldn't open another one until I drank it.
Pretty much.
And then I would go to the next
Unless you were
one.
doing a rum and then you were doing a whiskey.
Yeah, and
or
see,
then
I
you were doing,
I always did the one. It didn't matter. I would drink all the whiskey, and then I would go all the rum, and then
See, every
that
now
was
and then
me.
I would want to switch off.
You've always been that though. You were good with like, I'm gonna have a mixed drink and a beer, mixed drink and a beer. I usually was like, okay, I'm gonna pick something and I go with it for the rest.
That's true.
But you've always flip flop like that, where I'm gonna have a vodka now and I'm gonna have this. Now I was vodka grapefruit the whole time, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
Then I was, I always stuck with whatever it was.
Yeah,
but
you were correct.
that was so. I'm almost sad that same thing with I never really did Irish though, because I did a lot of the cheap Canadians, but that the one we have was on the borderline cheap. That was one of the ones I used to do.
It wasn't bad.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Price-wise, it wasn't
There's a
bad.
couple of them out there that I did. There's one it's got like a donkey or something. It's like 10 something, and it wasn't good.
Where you going with this
You
one?
could drink it. No. It was I forget the name of it, but if I seen it, I'm like, that's the one. It was always cheap, like low teens.
I'm sure I didn't get it more expensive. Well, maybe $2 more. But
No, yeah, Canadian's usually cheap. Anyways, but when it came to the scotches, you could find there was a handful of plastic bottles on the bottom that were relatively cheap. But I actually like the mouthfeel on this one, as they say. It coats my tongue nice and it stays in better.
it sticks around.
Yeah.
It doesn't just like disappear like the Dunsville kind of. That was like really easy.
This one has a generous smoke flavor too. You're gonna find that if I do go get the cheap one, I don't remember it having this much of a smoke flavor. You're not getting smoke flavor yet.
So I told
Like,
you.
and if we switch though,
smoked
like
turkey.
if we switch to, and we'll do it, we can do it off camera. But if you did like let's just say Kentucky's Best, clean your palate, and then you go back to something like this, I think you would find it is a smoke flavor. I'm gonna get you more Scotch. We'll get the smoke flavor in there, but overall.
It has a nice smell. I just don't know what it is.
I'm voting 2 huge thumbs up for this Siskel and Ebert Wild. 'Cause I like it.
Even though his evaluation was far
No.
off the charts.
You know what? Because tasting notes are tasting notes. This is what it reminds. That's what Scotch used to
No,
remind
I'm
me
just
to.
saying it was funny. It was
No.
funny.
I'm not saying anything I said is something you're gonna say. God, I can't wait to try that.
Yeah,
but
let me go get a Band-Aid.
yeah, that's what it just reminds me of, though.
Nah.
I'm gonna go get a Band-Aid and wet it, and then wear it for a minute and have you smell it. You're gonna be like, yeah, Band-Aid.
It's a challenge.
I actually like it. I really like the mouthfeel. I think everything about it. This is why I settled on Scotch though in the beginning, because I was trying to steer off because I was a rum and coke too. You know that. And then I had a keg downstairs forever. So I was drinking beer for the longest time, and I would switch to rum, switch to rum. But then when I was traveling all the time, I said I'm gonna find something, and I went to Scotch originally. And I went to cheap Scotch because it was cheap and plastic candles, and they wouldn't break when I was driving around the country. And to me, they had
It's
a
not
nice,
really as strong.
I think the smoke
harshness.
yeah.
But some people might like it on a rocks to like just a little too. And that would make it even easier drinker.
The funny part, or the good part about it is when I used to put it on the rocks, that smoke flavor doesn't go away as much. Like it still sits through. One of these days, I can't wait to try like the higher and see how much more. Because too much smoke, just much like when you're smoking on the smoker out back, too much is too much. That's all there is to it. Like
that sticks on your tongue.
I've told the story about the Missouri State Fair and the other, where
it does stick on you. That's
it was
a
like
taste that sticks around for a while.
I was like, I was burping it for days. I couldn't get rid of the smoke. So too much is not good either. This is actually a delicate. This is actually delicious. It's delicious.
It's a good blend.
And a lot of people don't like blended. I think this is phenomenal. And for the price, you can't beat that. That's my personal opinion. And I can see why rich people back in the day were drinking it because
they probably still have it on the shelf back there.
Oh, I'm sure.
The Queen probably has it back there.
Yep, I'm sure. So, well, there you go. There is our Justerini and Brooks. Great addition. I like it. I like it because we didn't have a Scotch anyways, but I think it's good. So, anything else?
I'm good.
There it is. So, spend less, drink more. Thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Cheers. No, I love that smoke flavor.
It is.
It's just enough.